We have 3 MLB divisional series in winner-go-home situations, a surprisingly good division in the NFL, and of course, it is Red River Showdown this weekend in Dallas. We talk about all this and more. This is College Crossfire.
And it's all on the shoulders of a freshman.
Earthquake! He hit it! Dicker! The kicker!
I guess we'll get into it. Always enthusiastic, unbelievable, hard-nosed.
All right, let me explain why Aaron Judge is getting it. You can boo me all you want.
I knew Texas was going to win, and then one of the Texas team was going to lose.
Cannon. I don't like the cannon.
Wait, you don't like this game?
All right, I'm done.
This is all chaos.
Welcome to College Crossfire. I'm your host, Turner Barnes. We don't have an intro. We don't have an intro today. We don't have any media. That's okay. We are bringing our A game for Red River Showdown week. Let's meet our team. First base, we got John Kelly. John, returning champion. How you feeling?
Pretty good.
All right. Short and sweet. I like it. Second base, Justin Morris. Justin, first time on this semester.
First time on this semester.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
Best second baseman since Jackie Robinson right here.
All right. Okay. And on third, we have a newcomer, Adam Ogburn. Adam,
Excited.
how you feel on your first show?
Hey, I'm hyped. Just like it's UTOU week, you can't not be hyped. So you gotta be excited.
Absolutely. All right. Let's get right into it. So before looking ahead to this weekend, let's look back at the West Virginia game. The Longhorns came out sluggish, putting up 21 points in the first half and giving up 14. Texas would flip the switch in the second half and eventually cruise to the 42-31 win. With a huge game this weekend against a much better OU team, how much does Texas's slow start concern you guys? We're going to start in order, and then after that, or answer how you wish. John?
It does concern me. I mean, especially after having some time to prepare for the game, I feel like they should have come out stronger and gained points more quickly, especially since last year versus OU, that was one of the components that helped us win versus OU, scoring the 21 points early and leading in the first half. So it does concern me that way. And I feel like if we can't perform like get that many points early on, then we might struggle versus Oklahoma.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the end of the game, OU came storming back last year, so that strong start against OU last year definitely helped. Justin?
Personally, I'm going to take a different perspective. I'm not too concerned. Texas has done really well this year. They take a while to get going, but once they get going, they can't stop. And us as fans definitely saw that in Morgantown this past week. So I think it's just Texas's tempo, that the way they kind of do things, kind of let them be, trust the process, as some people like to say. So I'm just kind of, as a fan, I'm just going to kind of let this happen. I'm not too concerned about it because I know in the end that they get their A game going once second half comes, and we saw that throughout the year. Looking back at the LSU game too, that was a moment where it just kind of took a while, but once things got going, they just keep going.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. Adam?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Justin. I don't think it's a big concern because Morgantown is a very tough place to go up and travel and play at. And so, I mean, you're looking at, they've got OU this weekend, and so that Morgantown game was very much a trap game. So the first drive, Texas, we went down the field. We 16 play, about 50-yard drive, and Dicker missed a field goal. So it wasn't like they were going 3 and out after 3 and out in the first half. And once they got going, they pulled away in the second half, relying on the secondary turnovers. And so I think that's what good teams do. They find ways to win on the road, even in tough environments. And so Texas showed that this weekend, and I think it bodes well heading into OU this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, Morgantown, very tough environment. It was very loud in the first half.
Yeah, for sure.
And that missed field goal was very big. Kind of a momentum shift at the beginning of the game, for sure. So, John, you're starting with 2. Justin, you're starting with 3. Adam, you are starting with 3. With returning stars like C.D. Lamb and transfer quarterback Jalen Hurts to go along with, at the very least, an improved defense, OU is a good team for sure. Some may argue OU hasn't been tested yet, but so far the Sooners look like a playoff team. So what does Texas need to do to exploit OU's weaknesses, if they have any? Anybody can answer.
I think OU's weakness right now is the fact that they haven't played anyone really decent. I mean, you got, South Dakota I don't even know what their mascot is, to be honest. You know, a weak UCLA team, a weak Kansas team. I think the weakness that OU has is that they just haven't been able to compete with a really good team, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do that for the rest of the season, just kind of given the Big 12 standpoint right now. So I think if Texas can realize that, you know, play fierce, it's a rivalry game, play hot, it's going to be a lot of fun up in Dallas. So I think that that's one way that Texas can kind of get ahead of them, and maybe, you know, OU's used to competing against these, you know, mediocre is a good word to say, mediocre teams, and you know, this Texas team is pretty high powered, so it'll be something that can kind of shake them off, you know, come early in the first quarter, first half.
Yeah, so maybe something like last year, just a quick punch in the mouth that OU just can't quite recover
exactly.
from.
Even though I just said slow starts are UT's thing, but you know, whatever.
No, I agree with Justin. I mean, OU hasn't played anyone, but despite not playing anyone, they're ranked 64th in the nation in rushing yards allowed. They've given up 145 yards per game right now. And so Texas, the past 2 weeks, they've had 100-yard rushers. They had Keontae Ingram against Oklahoma State. And this past weekend, Roschon Johnson, a third-string quarterback, went off for almost 100 yards against West Virginia. So I think if Texas can establish that run game early on and move the ball methodically down the field, not giving OU's explosive offense as much time on the field, I think that's a big weakness they can exploit. And with the way their offensive line has been playing so far, I think that's a big advantage that they can take hold of and get off to a good start against the Sooners.
Yeah, and maybe look out for the running game from Sam Ehlinger. I know
sure.
Texas has tried to maybe hold him back a little bit to save him for big games like this.
I have to agree with Justin and Adam. I feel like the LSU game for Texas really helped us prepare versus, I mean, Oklahoma's a really good team, and LSU is a very good team as well. And having the opportunity to play such a good team, and it helps build up our offensive ability and defensive ability playing against tough teams. And Oklahoma just hasn't had that opportunity to play against strong defenses or offenses. So.
Yeah, I mean, y'all are all absolutely right. Oklahoma has not played very many people, so that might be their biggest weakness. Other than that, they look like a very solid team. So maybe a little worried about that one. So after 2, John, you're at 6. Justin, you're at 6. Adam, you are at 7. In the 114 games between Texas and OU, one thing we have learned is to expect the unexpected. From Mike Leach's fake play script in 1999 to the Gerard Hurd-led Texas upset in 2015, many crazy things have happened between the rivals. So if you're Texas, what are you most worried about headed into this game? Maybe something unexpected or a specific player? Anybody can answer.
I'm most worried so far about Texas' lack of pass rush in their first 2 Big 12 games. They had 2 sacks against Oklahoma State, and they had none against West Virginia. So if you don't get pressure on Jalen Hurts, he will tear you apart. And the more time you give him, the more time it gives guys like CeeDee Lamb chances to get open downfield. And we've seen with this OU offense, all they need is one play to rip you apart and go 75 yards down the field. So I think if they don't contain Jalen Hurts, if they don't crash in from the side and get the pressure on him, he'll take them apart, and he can lead that OU team to outscore Texas.
You kind of talked about him there at the end. The thing that I'm going to call him a thing because that's what he is. Jalen Hurts terrifies me. Baker Mayfield was a great OU quarterback, even though I despise him. Kyler Murray, another great OU quarterback, 2 great quarterbacks. But Jalen Hurts, he's playing with a chip on his shoulder that neither of those 2 guys really had. You know, they had past jobs at previous places, but Jalen Hurts was at Alabama. And, you know, was not on the team after Tua took over. Jalen Hurts, works out after games, which I don't know how that's healthy, to be completely honest. Like, he posts videos of him with a medicine ball just throwing it down, and I'm looking at that, I'm like, aren't you, supposed to kind of chill out, drink a glass of chocolate milk or something like that afterwards? The fact that he's doing that's pretty scary. So, yeah, needless to say, the thing that I'm most worried about is Mr. Hurts.
Yeah, I think Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield made plays on the run. Jalen Hurts, they have a designed run game with him, kind of like Texas has with Sam Ehlinger, and that's kind of concerning.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
I think the biggest thing to worry about is our fourth quarter defense. Time and time again, the fourth quarter, Texas always struggled in 2 of the 3 biggest games of the year, especially when we didn't put in backups at all. That was when our opponents scored the most points. And if we recall last year, Oklahoma put up 21 points in the fourth quarter to tie the game and almost take us to overtime, if not for Dicker the kicker. but I think we just have to, push strong, make sure we're, not getting dehydrated, be sure we're, resting and keeping a good mindset going into the fourth quarter.
No cramping.
Yeah, no cramping like LSU. Absolutely. No cramp gate for Texas. All right. Of course, we can't have an episode of College Crossfire without some predictions. So who wins? Who wins? Let's hear it.
Go ahead.
Whoever.
Short term, I think this weekend, I'm sorry to say, I think Oklahoma's going to win.
Okay. All right.
The team's just better. But in the long run, Baylor's going to win. Regardless of the outcome of this game.
Okay. How is Baylor winning? Please explain.
Texas OU.
Where's
Baylor?
3 undefeated teams in the Big 12 conference-wise in conference. And this game, either us or Oklahoma, either Texas or Oklahoma is going to lose, and that gives an opportunity for Baylor to come in later in the season, win a game, and possibly go to the Big 12 championship.
That's a good point. If somebody's going to lose this game, so if Baylor wins out or maybe loses one game, they could be in the Big 12 championship. That's a really good point. What about y'all?
You got him.
Oh, man. I'm going with the heart a little bit on this one. I'm going to go with Texas because I think you got two Heisman caliber. Yeah. There you go. You got two Heisman caliber quarterbacks with Ellinger and Hurts. I think you got defenses who are a little bit questionable. They've shown some cracks. OU's hasn't been tested as much. So I think if you look at it comes down maybe to special teams like last year. And OU has had some problems with kickers. Their longest field goal so far this year is 34 yards. And you got Cameron Dicker who nailed a 57-yarder back in Houston against Rice. And so I think if it comes down to it, I think it might come down to another Cameron Dicker kick to lead the Longhorns to another narrow victory.
All right, the already legend Dicker the kicker just would go out of this atmosphere if he kicked another game-winning field goal in that rivalry game. Justin, I feel like you're saving yourself for last on purpose.
I am kind of saving myself for last. Daniel, the producer of this show, said to get creative. You're not supposed to wear white on TV. I broke that rule. You're also not supposed to be biased on TV. I'm breaking that rule. Give me Texas.
Yeah.
Come on. Wrapping up the home state right here. Right here. The Texas Longhorns are going to beat Oklahoma, and that's on period.
All right. I like that. Like the creativity, going against the rules, wearing white. All right, that's what I like. You better be wearing. Oh wait, never mind. Shouldn't say that. Never mind.
What?
I was gonna say you better be wearing orange on Saturday.
I will be wearing orange on Saturday.
Okay. That's where I was gonna stop. All right. At the end of the first period, John, you have 11. Justin, you're at 13. Adam, you're at 12. We got a close game. All right, when we come back, the panel discusses possibly the most competitive division in the NFL and if the volleyball team can hang on in the rankings. Welcome back to College Crossfire. Before we get back to business, let's check the scoreboard. John, you're at 11. Justin in the lead at 13. Adam in a close second at 12. All right, let's get right into the debate. Former Longhorn Lexi Sun and the Nebraska Cornhuskers slid from number 2 to number 5 after being swept by Wisconsin. This allowed Texas volleyball to jump back into the top 4. Texas has bounced up and down in the rankings, but are they in the top 4 to stay this time? John, we're going to start with you.
I think we are. I think we've had really good games the past couple weeks. We won all 3 sets against TCU on last Wednesday. Which means we're currently undefeated in conference. And I think we have the ability to keep that momentum going. The real test will be 2 weeks from now against Baylor, and then subsequent second game against Baylor. Baylor is definitely probably the best team in volleyball right now, and we're going to have to see how it goes.
So do they stay in the top 4 the rest of the year, or do they lose to Baylor and fall out?
I think they do.
Okay, all right. Justin?
Can they stay in the top 4? I think they can. Will they? I'm not too sure about that. And my reasoning is because of that team you talked about at the end, Baylor, they're the best team right now in all of volleyball. Texas still has to play them twice. And another thing, too, they have to play Oklahoma on Saturday right after the Red River game. How about that on timeliness? How about that? So those are just a couple games that are coming up that are going to be really difficult for Texas to contest against, and I've been personally where Baylor plays volleyball, and that's not a friendly environment at all. It's loud, and it gets really it's rambunctious crowd over there. So it's not going to be easy for Texas to stay in the top 4. But can they? Yes, they can. Will they? I'm not too sure.
All right, so maybe they have the talent, but you have the
Maybe.
#1 team in the nation in your way, so it may be difficult.
Exactly.
Adam.
I'm going to go with the Longhorns can't stay in the top 4. Early in the year, they had the loss to Stanford and the loss to Rice. I think the Rice loss set a lot of people off, but Rice is ending up having a historic season in volleyball. I think they're ranked for the first time ever. And so now they're in the Big 12 play. They're 6-0 so far at home. And so Baylor comes to town here in 2 weeks. So I think it'll be tough going up to Waco, but I think the Longhorns, they've shown that ability. They've only dropped 3 sets at home all year. And so if they can take Baylor here at home and split the season series, I think with the lack of strength of schedule in the rest of the Big 12, Texas and Baylor are the only 2 teams ranked, and they were the only 2 teams to make the tournament last year. I think the Longhorns, if they can split that season series against Baylor, they can stay in the top 4.
All right, coming in hot. I'm going to go with Justin, though. I think they have the talent, but I think if you lose one of those games to Baylor, you may fall out temporarily and then maybe bounce back in. I still think they're around one of the top 4 teams in the nation,
Yeah, absolutely.
but I don't know if they'll consistently be in the top 4 for the rest of the year. So, Justin, you're going to get the point. Moving on, the San Francisco 49ers beat down on the Cleveland Browns on Monday Night Football to stay undefeated. The NFC West standings are now, in order, the undefeated 49ers at 4-0, Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks at 4-1 in second, the defending NFC champs LA Rams in third at 3-2, and, well, the Cardinals are in fourth. But who do you guys have winning the surprisingly competitive division? Justin, we're going to start with you.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Surprisingly competitive just for a second. The 49ers, out of all teams, they're like undefeated right now. How about that? That's pretty insane. And I've got Jimmy Garoppolo on my fantasy football team. I haven't started him yet because I've been hesitant, but I really should have been because this guy is playing pretty well, and so is the rest of this 49ers team. One thing that I want to point out, too, about them, Richard Sherman recently talked in his press conference about how, if you thought we were going to be bad, stay thinking that way. I like that mentality that Richard Sherman has. But you got the Seahawks in that division. You got the Rams in that division. I think what it's going to come down to, and luckily we got it, we as fans got it this weekend, the Rams and the 49ers play. I think whoever wins that game is going to win the NFC West this early on in the season. That's what I'm going with.
All right, a crucial game at not even the halfway point of the season. All right, we'll see.
Prediction.
We'll see.
I'm going to actually disagree with Jess. I'm going to actually take the Seahawks in that division. The 49ers are off to a great start, but all 4 teams they played and beaten all have losing records. And they don't really have the star power that the Seahawks do. I mean, if you look at their offense, Garoppolo is a very quality quarterback, but at running back, they have committees, between Matt Breida, Tevin Coleman, Jeff Wilson. At receiver, they've got a committee between Marquise Goodwin and Deebo Samuel. So you never really know who's going to step up. For the Seahawks, they have those quality players in crucial games, like Russell Wilson, like Chris Carson, like Tyler Lockett to stretch the field. I think those players can make enough plays. And then the Rams just haven't looked the same. I don't think Gurley's the same since his knee injury last year. And I think Goff has 7 picks in 5 games. And he's got to still figure that out. He's still a relatively young coach. So at this point, I think the Seahawks, with the experience Pete Carroll has and the players they have on both sides of the ball, I think they can edge in what's going to be a very competitive division.
Yeah, I mean, very well said. I think the 49ers, their running backs they're very deep, but not the kind of the pop, the star power that you see in Seattle. So, John?
I'm going to have to agree with Adam. I think the Seahawks are a really strong team this year. Their only loss is to a good Saints team. And I'm biased towards CenturyLink Field in Seattle. I think that gives them so much of an advantage over other teams, and it's just such a great atmosphere. And not only do I want them to win, I think they're going to win the division.
The real 12th man.
Yeah.
There you go.
I will say Arrowhead is better, but I'm going to give Adam the points. I think Seattle just has way too much star power to be, and they're only in second because they have an extra game and they lost. So watch out for the Seahawks. They're coming in. So Adam, you're going to get the point on that one. Moving on, the MLB Divisional Series have already delivered some incredible moments like Yadier Molina's late game heroics and the Tampa Bay Rays coming back from a 2-0 hole to force a Game 5. We all know October baseball is incredible, but what has been the biggest surprise for you so far this postseason? Adam, we're going to start with you this time.
I'm going to go with the Astros' lack of run scoring so far.
Ooh.
They exploded. They had 6 runs in Game 1, but since then they've only had 7 in the 3 games combined. And so you come in, they scored 920 runs during the regular season. They're averaging almost 5.5. 5.5 runs per game. And you look at the star power they have, the Jordan Alvarez, Altuve, Correa, Springer, and those guys just haven't been coming up with the run support that the pitchers like Verlander and Garrett Cole are going to need to win this series. So it's going to be a huge Game 5. And if the Astros bats don't show up, then there's going to be an even bigger surprise. And that's the best team in baseball heading home in the first round.
Yeah, I mean, the star power is just, where is it? You know, you have Zach Greinke, who, I mean, we all know he's not the best in the playoffs, but, I mean, the Astros, they need to pick it up if they want to make it back to the World Series. John?
The biggest surprise, I think, happened tonight, Game 5, Cardinals versus Braves. There's no reason the Braves should have lost that game. They're at home. They're a really strong team. But they dropped 10 points or 10 runs in the first inning. That's not only embarrassing. And I'm a Rangers fan. I'm used to blowing stuff in the 5th game. But there's no way that the Braves should have lost that game and messed up that badly.
In embarrassing fashion. Absolutely. Justin?
How about the fact that we have 3 games going to Game 5 in the divisional series? That's pretty wild. And to look at some of the teams that are in that, you got the Houston best playoffs ever. Some are saying. You got the Houston Astros as one of those teams. Like we said earlier, very good team all season, but not showing up really well right now. And then looking at the Dodgers too, I'm a big Dodgers fan, and another team that you'd think that they would be easy to finish out, but they're not having it right now. So I think that that's probably one of the biggest surprises right now is that we have 3 Game 5s in the divisional series already.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely very surprising, but I think just the embarrassing fashion that the Braves lost in, I mean, that's a huge surprise. They're at home. They're a good team. Definitely shouldn't have lost the game. Definitely shouldn't have lost it that bad. So, John, you're going to get the points. Almost didn't give it to you because you had to bring up the Rangers. But you had a really good point. I'm just kidding with you. All right, so at the end of 2, we'll check the score again. John, you're at 12. Justin, you're at 14. Adam, you're at 13. So we still got a close game. Great debate, guys. Rapid Fire is coming up next. Stick around because it is sure to get heated.
Whoa.
Welcome back to College Crossfire and welcome into Rapid Fire. Before we get the debate going, thank you. Let's remind the audience of the score. John, you're at, let me just make sure, 12. Justin, you're at 14. Adam, you're at 13. All right, remember, every question in Rapid Fire is worth 2 points. And you know what that means? It's anybody's game. All right. San Francisco 49ers defensive tackle DJ Jones may have not gotten any tackles Monday night against the Browns, but he did gain a fiance. Jones went down to one knee on the field before the game, surrounded by family and friends. As a professional football player, this makes sense. But what about y'all? What special place would you choose to propose to your hypothetical spouse?
Man, you can't ask me that. Like, my girlfriend's watching right now.
Oh, all right, Justin, on the hot seat, rapid fire.
I know.
All right, anybody can answer. Where would you
Answer
propose?
first, man, I got to think of a good answer for her.
I would propose next to the most beautiful building on campus, RLM.
All right. All right. Next to the RLM, is there a certain reason? Is that just because it's beautiful and on UT campus? Or?
I'm an astronomy major,
Yeah.
And
Stars.
I feel a great attachment to the pigeons that congregate.
Okay, RLM with the pigeons, kind of like the doves at a wedding. Under the stars? All right, you might convince me, Adam. Or whoever, sorry.
I'll go with the Texas Towers. You go there.
right.
Maybe after a big victory, you got it lit up orange. After the Longhorns beat OU this weekend, and so we'll see. That'd be a good time. Get it lit up orange. Get it lit up orange at night. Be a great view, great picture.
Let's go with there's no better stadium than AT&T Stadium, am I right?
Jerry's World.
And that's a great place to. I'm just going. I thought you were a Cowboys fan for a second. I was trying to apply. I'll change it to Arrowhead Stadium.
He's trying to play me. All right, I see what you're doing, Justin. You're trying to play me. I'm going to go with the creativity of the pigeons at the RLM. It's personal. It's under the stars. As an astronomy major, very romantic, John. Whoever you're going to be proposing to is a lucky woman. Absolutely. All right, moving on. The St. Louis Cardinals beat the Atlanta Braves 13-1 in the deciding Game 5. The Cardinals put up 10 runs in the first inning and never looked back. So if you were on the Braves and had to sit in the dugout for 8 meaningless innings, what would you do to make the time go by?
I've been playing a lot of Mario Kart on my phone recently.
Ooh, okay.
And it's one of those things where, like, it's like 10:30 at night. I'm like, I got a little bit of homework to do, but I just find myself playing that. Then I'm like, oh, it's 12. So, yeah, that's probably what I do. I know it's been seen in the past where players just pull out their phone to start texting away. That's what I do. Mario Kart's fun, man.
Mario Kart, solid answer. Solid answer.
I'm gonna go with Madden on the phone. You know,
Okay.
just getting in here to some football season, and now, now the Braves are out of the playoffs. You know, they're gonna have a lot of free time on their hands, so maybe you can catch up. And catch your Falcons game.
Yeah. All right, taking
Catch
shots.
the Falcons,
Taking
yeah.
shots. We got another video game, John.
You know, there's nothing like more than watching, you know, funny baseball compilations on YouTube. And I think, despite the fact that they're losing, maybe bring some levity. You know, maybe have a hot foot, or you know, write messages with cups and the grading. You know, maybe the water cup on the hat. You know, all those things I think bring levity and are enjoyable.
Absolutely, some classic dugout antics. But I'm gonna go with Justin. That Mario Kart, you can look down at your screen and look back up, and it's 3 hours later. I don't know how that happens, but Mario Kart would make it go really fast. All right, Justin, you're gonna get the 2 points. Moving on. As always, the Texas OU game will be played in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas this weekend. As always, the fans will be split down the middle, burnt orange on the one side, crimson on the other. As always, the smell of fried food and beer will fill the air. And as always, the winner of the game on Saturday will take home the coveted golden hat. So if you were going to invent a trophy for a rivalry game, what would it be?
I would invent a trophy for this game because there's already a bunch of them. You got the golden hat, you got the governor's trophy, they got one for the ROTCs that play football. There's just a bunch of trophies in this game. Add another one, make it fair related. Let's make a golden corn dog.
Ooh.
And, you know, make sure to get that good part on the stick that everyone likes that's kind of stuck on there. Make sure to get that in there. You know what, why not? Just add another trophy to this thing.
What's the competition?
What's the competition?
Yeah.
Make it Texas OU still.
Okay.
Just add on another one because they seem to just keep adding them on. So.
All right, all right.
Man, there was a new rivalry invented last year at the Sugar Bowl between Bevo and Uga, and so I'm going to go for a dog show, and the trophy you get golden Bevo charging after Uga.
Okay, so a Texas dog show, is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Texas theme?
Best dogs from Texas, best dogs from Georgia. Winner take all.
Okay, all right, all right. John?
I think we should do a land swap. If Texas wins, we just gain all of Oklahoma. And if Oklahoma wins,
No one wants Oklahoma.
if Oklahoma wins, we give them the panhandle.
That's an amazing idea. But like Thomas said in the crowd, nobody wants Oklahoma. And if Texas loses, I surely don't want to be part of Oklahoma. I'm gonna give it to Justin, the golden corn dog. That's genius. The part of the very end of the
That
stick.
very end of the
that's the
stick.
best part of the
Yeah,
corn
exactly.
dog. The Texas State Fair is great. Maybe like a fry-off competition. Whoever wins gets the golden corn dog.
Yeah, that sounds
Justin,
good.
you're gonna get the 2 points and the win. Congratulations, Justin. Do we have time for FaceTime? Yes, Justin, take it away.
Okay, first off, I want to wish a very happy birthday, 22nd birthday to Turner Barnes. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Thank you.
Second off, there's been something on my mind I've been wanting to talk about for a long time, and that is the fact that people keep tweeting at Crystal Conte regarding their issues, and the things that are tweeted at Crystal Conte are horrifying. It's a lot of people saying, "Hey, I'm getting married. Can you move the game?" What? First off, he has no reason to work with that, and that's the TV people. So please stop tweeting your problems towards Crystal Conte. He is a busy man running one of the top athletic programs in the entire country. So don't tweet at him, man. Just find someone else to get mad at.
Absolutely. I'm waiting for people to tweet at him about the crickets on campus. Crystal Conte, get rid of these crickets. I totally understand.
What's he gonna do?
All right. Congratulations, Justin. That's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you all for joining us. Be sure to check out our brand new show this semester, the 1-0 Sports Show, hosted by Thomas Fitch and Robert Trevino at 8 a.m. every Friday. Also, tune into College Press Box every Monday at 9:30 p.m. for the latest sports news on the 40 acres. Don't forget to follow at TSTV Sports on social media. And for all the panelists and everyone in studio and master control, OU sucks.